Smells like barbecue. You know what barbecue smells like? Money. Today's vlog episode is straight fuerte fire for my gringo friends. From the Latin music, to the red in my beard, to the 2 houses that I just bought that literally went on fire. We're in L-Town, just picked up a house last week, went on fire, great deal. Even though the market's jacked up a little bit and it's hard to get deals, if you are hustling, if you are out there are deals. So let's go in and smell the barbecue. In front of a recent purchase, house went on fire. Boiler actually, the ironic thing about this was on the market, getting ready to be sold. It was 4 days away from the actual closing. It was vacant, thank God. The boiler sparked up, went on fire. Whole back of the house went on fire, got pulled off the market. We identified, reached out to the seller, and ended up picking it up. So we just closed on this last week, but the important thing is, got my Captain Permit sign here, putting it in the ground, bang. We prepared for this, so we knew we were closing. We had 30 days before we were gonna close. We went into the house. The seller was gracious enough to do that. We measured everything up. We got everything in. We filed the plans for the permits with the seller's permission prior to purchasing the house, which you can do. Now we have a permit ready to go, and we just closed on the house. Saved us a ton of time and a ton of money. So investors, that's what you gotta do. The key to saving money and making things work in an environment where you have to get permits is to be proactive and plan your business accordingly. It's actually not that bad. So if you're gonna do properties in this market, you gotta be willing to get dirty. You gotta be willing to get non-conventional, right? This particular property was scouted out by one of our scouts who sent it over to me. Thank you very much, you know who you are. The seller, I mean, this is a house that should really be torn down. That's what the seller thought. But when you really, really look on the surface, you look at it, you're like, should tear it down, was on fire, right? But when you really, really start to look, you say, you know what? It's really not that bad, right? There are things that can be changed, there are things that can be done, but as an investor, you gotta budget both ways. So I look at this and I say, all right, I think I can fix it and it's gonna work as a fix and flip. But let's say the unthinkable happens and I have to knock it down. Does the number still make sense for me to throw a dormer on it, to knock it down to the ground? What does my timetable look like? So again, investors, very important. You wanna have a base case scenario in your investment strategies, regardless of what they are. You wanna have the best case scenario, and then you wanna have what happens if Sandy, a hurricane, the house falls down, whatever it is, worst case scenario. This way you know that regardless of what happens at the price you're buying, you're not gonna get hurt, you're gonna make some money, or at least you'll be able to get out and take your wife or girlfriend out to dinner. Hello!
Hi, Ben.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you talk? I know you just left because I spoke to Mark.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Everybody in life needs a Millie, right? If you're gonna do rentals, you need a Millie. Millie is the greatest thing in the world. Millie is a rental agent that I use exclusively to do all my rentals. Millie and I, so let me explain Millie. Millie is a Latina woman, bilingual, who has this unbelievable street savvy and this ability to sense if people are gonna pay their rent or not. All right, everybody, if you're gonna be in the rentals, if you need her number, call me, I'll give you the number, but she's amazing. Her and I are to the point where I have a certain criteria, but I don't even meet the tenants anymore. Like, I trust her so much, we're on that level, that she goes out, she meets the tenants, she does all the paperwork, she sends it over for my signature, tenants are in, and knock on wood, we have never had one serious problem with a tenant to date. We're buying this thing completely sight unseen. Cats, cars, charred rubble, right? Half of me thinks I can fix this. The other half says we're probably gonna have to knock it down. But at the price we're getting it at, it doesn't really matter either way, and that's what you have to know. Bro, you know what this looks like straight up? This looks like a scene from Saving Private Ryan. I feel like the Germans just rolled through and bombed this place. That's what it looks like right now. Holy shit. as we're shooting this, people are hitting me up on Instagram, they're hitting me up on Facebook, they DM me, like, Charles, you are completely out of your goddamn mind. You bought this thing completely sight unseen. You have no idea what you're walking into. You could lose everything. You could lose your shirt. Am I worried? Absolutely not. I do the same thing as this, is when I buy a house that's occupied, I plan for the worst possible case scenario. I say to myself, listen, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? Let's say I buy this house, I pull up, and it literally falls to the ground in ashes and disintegrates in front of my eyes. What's it gonna cost me? What's the process? I have to demo everything, I have to apply for the permits, and I have to build a new house. So I say to myself, okay, what's a new house worth here? Minus out all the costs associated with buying it, building it, holding it, permit costs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's my offer number? And that's what I offer, right? So worst case scenario, I'm covered. Now, on the bright side, if I go in like we just did, and I snoop around and I say, listen, you know what? This isn't quite as bad as my worst case scenario. I can save some things. I can save some things. I can save all these things. Maybe it's only a half rebuild. I don't know. That's the gravy. That's when I can really make an unbelievable return. But I've budgeted and I've planned so that I'm gonna make money regardless, but there's an extreme upside, but I'm definitely gonna make money. And worst case scenario, I know I'm gonna be able to get out of this without losing any money. And that's the most important thing, people. When you go into, don't be afraid of this, don't be afraid of fire damage, welcome this kind of stuff. Just plan and budget for the worst case scenario because you don't know, and you might be pleasantly surprised. If there's gonna be people, they're gonna upbid it and pay too much, let it go. There's always another deal. Remember that. So we're heading out again. Maddie's in full flea gear, right? Socks pulled. This is truly, truly, truly special. The next handsome purchase. Bro, this is an absolute. All right, Juan Baronecci's like, last week, we're back to this. He's like, yo, what is the worst house you've ever bought? Juan, I'm gonna pretty much say it's this one. Holy shit. Oh, it stinks like death in here too. Come on, bro, tough it up. Yo, we're just bringing you from bad to worse. Look at the flies. Look at the flies. Oh. Bro, this is an absolute. All right, Juan Baronecci's like, last week, we're back to this. He's like, yo, what is the worst house you've ever bought? Juan, I'm gonna pretty